everybody, and welcome in to the 4-3 show. I'm Ryan Blake alongside me, Parker Dunn and Dominic Stern, because Pat is lazy once again.
But
and
he's got
decided
a
to show up.
125-page binder due for his class tomorrow. Like I texted you.
You didn't even text us that.
Yeah, I did. I forgot out the number. He's got a big assignment due. So
Then why did you tell me that?
I said in our chat.
I did not see that text.
Look, he told me he's got a big binder today. Would have been insider trading for me to bet or disclose my information. We of course put a fake betting odds on whether Pat would be a part of the show.
I love the plus 350. I
Plus
really
350,
did.
yeah, certainly enticed someone.
I was willing to put 45 on it and 110. I'll take it.
Those are those
That's just free money.
Aljamain Sterling odds right there.
That's just free money right there.
Free money.
Free money, because we knew Pat was not coming
No
tonight
money
regardless.
is free.
Well, that was certainly free money.
Thanks.
What? Vegas made the odds. I bet the odds.
Vegas didn't make this. Let's not lie on the 4-3 show.
Deceiving the listener.
Vegas needs me in this scenario. I made the line. I bet my own line that I made.
You're not Vegas. Although Manny Machado MVP bet that you placed down for someone is looking pretty fun right now. I'll say that.
He had one really good game.
Dude, look at his numbers, Ryan. Go look at his numbers right now.
I knew this would happen.
He's off to a great start.
He's still not winning MVP.
Okay. Just your sanity.
What's sanity? All right, guys. How are you doing?
And winning a massive payout bet and also just being happy. That's not sanity, you're right, but you should hope for it, Ryan.
You should hope that your team actually makes the playoffs this year. So
Well, yeah, I do. Are you kidding me? You should hope your team makes the playoffs, Dom. It's in your best interest. Thanks.
The only person that can do a good impersonation of my voice is the man that's not here tonight, and that's Pat. So please don't try.
Okay. I sound like Ed Orgeron.
Yeah, you sound like
Yeah.
Ed Orgeron and an ogre.
Like the
okay?
Kool-Aid man.
Boy, get out me swamp. That's Australia. Okay, all right. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. Guys, how has everyone's day been?
It's been all right.
That's good. I submitted my fourth story for Cronkite News. So-
That's it.
Well, I've done 3 others on behalf of Cronkite News, so it's technically 7. But four Cronkite News.
Okay, I was about to be extremely disappointed in you.
Right.
Like extremely disappointed in you. Only 4, Dom. And without me, you wouldn't have one of those.
Well, I would have allocated some other resources towards that time.
Cap.
Yeah.
Today's been a long day, guys. Very long day. I had to help a friend with a radio play after the bureau, and that took way too long. Way too long. I was ready to
You
pull
didn't
my
have
hair
to.
out.
I think you chose to.
No, it's because I'm a good person. Okay.
Right, but you chose to.
Well, I had to because I told her I'd do it like a month ago, and then I forgot about it until yesterday.
Okay,
Okay.
maybe that is a have to.
Yeah,
How
at that
about
point,
that?
it kind of turns
Okay.
to one.
How about that? That is a have to.
The best was when you're like, have to go to Tucson with Dom. And I'm like, well, you chose to do this.
I gotta go to Mill. Man.
No, I had to go to Tucson with you. It wasn't any treat or anything like that. All right. As you guys can tell by the title of today's show, our entire show's dedicated to the NBA playoffs. And Parker, your team is playing right now, the Golden State Warriors.
They
Give us a
are.
little update on how they're doing in the game two.
Playoff game during the show.
Yeah, I know. They are down by 1. There was a offensive foul on Aaron Gordon. Draymond Green is very excited about it. So they're about to get the ball back. 4:25 left in the second quarter. And what's been a very back and forth game so far.
That's good. I'm glad that the Warriors are not getting beat down like they did to the Nuggets the other night. What was that like for you?
I almost tweeted our show for the College Basketball Bonanza account. That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. Yeah.
You should.
That would have been incredible.
But Parker, the Warriors put a beat down on the Nuggets
They did.
the other night, and thanks to Jordan Poole, who went crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Poole is just that guy. I mean, we had our show before the season started saying, you know, who we thought for the different awards, which are slowly starting to unravel. We're seeing more guys. Marcus Smart was announced Defensive Player of the Year today. So we're seeing more of that happening. And one of my picks was Jordan Poole for being most improved. That wasn't the case. I'm a believer he got robbed. And I think that he's proving it. No one's
Well,
won it yet.
There hasn't been an announcement, but he wasn't named a finalist.
Yeah, not even in the top 3.
Not even 6-man. Because I know we had this discussion at the beginning of the
It's
year.
got to be one or the other,
Yeah.
you know. And he wouldn't have won 6-man because Hero really perfectly utilized that role since that was his role the whole year. But anyways, Jordan Poole's been awesome. He had a great debut for the playoffs. People are like, oh, well, what about the playing game last year? That doesn't count. The playing game's stupid. It's not a playoff series.
Whoa.
And I know you're gonna reference
Draymond Green put out a tweet
I
saying,
I
if
love
you don't make the
Draymond.
play-in tournament, you are stubborn and stuck in your ways.
I love
Mr. Dunn, you are
Draymond.
stubborn and stuck in your ways, it appears.
I'm as unstuck as one can be with my outlook on certain sports rules that are changed. I'm all about change for the better. The playing games are not for the better.
No. They're for more money going into NBA's pockets.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize why they do it, and it doesn't take, I guess, a rocket scientist again to realize that it's just not necessary. As far as a basketball perspective,
Well, it is necessary for the owners to make more money.
You have the Pelicans, a 10-game below 500 team, 36-46 in the playoffs. That's just gross. That's so gross. But, good for them.
I think the main reason for that rule is to bail out the poverty franchises that really bring in all the views.
Oh, you know something about poverty franchises.
The big
I was
thing.
talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, Ryan, okay?
Oh, you know a couple poverty franchises is what you do know.
And the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, you're forgetting one.
I would say the Kansas City Royals, but that would be false. Oakland A's. Sorry.
You're forgetting a big one in the state of California.
Yeah. If you're talking about the Padres are not a poverty franchise. Go look at the amount of money they're raking in this year.
Well, I'm
franchise
talking about franchise accolades here.
Oh, well then, yes, you could consider the Padres to be a failed franchise.
Okay, failure of a franchise, I can agree with that.
Or on the up and up, or they're on the up and up. I'm not
You said the same thing last year. Look what happened.
Well, I mean, it was improvement. Look at the last several 162 game seasons, Ryan. Tell me last year wasn't an improvement. It was still a failure.
It was still a failure.
I know. I said it.
Especially that end to the season.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Dude, you are so lucky we have to follow these fake FCC rules.
Yeah.
I am controlling myself from saying
I'm testing you, buddy.
You are, and I'm doing a good job of answering these questions in a manner that does not reflect poorly on me or the show.
Yeah.
Credit to me.
Oh, look who's seeking credit for being a good boy. Do you want a treat?
I would like a cookie, yes.
Okay, you can get one on the way home. All right. So, Parker, Warriors dominated game 1. What do you see for the rest of the series as they now will head to Denver after tonight?
Well, I mean, we won't know until this game ends. It's still early in this one. A lot of basketball left to be played. But I think it's a series that there's a lot of potential for the Nuggets to kind of slip back in. It would start by winning tonight if they can come away with the win. Warriors obviously going to try and avoid that situation as best they can and head over to Denver up 2-0 in the series. And I think if it is to that point, it's going to be a quick one. So I think it just comes down to taking care of business and containing Jokic, because that's really what it is. He's the entire team with the injuries that they have or that they've had all year. So, I mean, it should be a quick series. They're the better team, regardless of whether the Nuggets were or weren't healthy. In this case, they're not, but should be a quick one.
But we did have a conversation before the show with Andre Iguodala, who you said felt a neck spasm before tonight's game.
Yeah, that's what Anthony Slater reported. And for a casual basketball fan that, only knows the superstars and doesn't actually watch, every Warriors game like myself, they would kind of just, not think that that's that big of a deal. I mean, look, they can definitely win without Andre, but he's one of the unsung heroes for, the organization over the last 7 years. And, not having him on the court's a big deal because he kind of plays like their backup point guard, and that's a really important role for a team because, Steph's coming off the bench, so technically he is the backup point guard. But we all know when they have their big five that includes him with Poole, Clay, Wiggins, and then Draymond, we know that that's not the case. So Iggy kind of serves as that. So he has a ton of value, and he's one of the more underrated guys in the quest they've had for championships over the years. So it's just a neck spasm. It's not as I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that's quite as bad as a back spasm can be. Those can really be a pain and can really prevent guys from playing for a while. Iggy's just kind of one of those guys. He's older. Body's kind of doing this to him the last couple of years of his career. It's nothing new, but hopefully it'll only keep him out for like another game or two. And
Parker, I have a question for you.
Dom, I actually just say to you real quick. You tweeted out the wrong show.
I did?
Yes, you put last week's show, buddy.
That's pretty funny.
Tough scene. Okay. Thank you.
I sent you the link, Dom.
Yeah, I know. It was in the group
It
chat.
happens. It happens.
4-3 show. Yeah, okay, you're right. I did. Tough scene. Okay.
I have you all flustered now, don't I?
No. Parker, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would Iguodala's health situation and just situation that he's in
Oh no!
change if the Martians the death beams were pointed at Earth? And if the death beams were pointed at Earth?
Oh man, I can sense it coming from a mile away. I don't know. There's a lot of options. You can go Jordan Poole, you can go Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. A lot of guys that can take that shot.
Don't care. Give me Iguodala.
Classic. That meme will never die.
You know what? I'm actually upset that Pat's not here tonight for one reason.
A lot of good to talk about with this.
Brooklyn, Boston. And boy, would he have a heyday right now.
You would.
He would have an absolute heyday. So, Dom, as his roommate, I'll let you do it.
Right. I actually watched game 1 with him, at least the second half of that. And it was a very entertaining game, back and forth. I think there was like 30-plus lead changes in this game, which is utterly ridiculous. And I know that Pat's very invested, not just with pride, but also financially in the series.
Oh, no. Wait, how?
You know how. You better know how, Ryan.
Who did he bet with?
Well, we're not going to disclose this matter on BlazeRadioOnline.com and also on YouTube if you're watching us on Ryan Blank's YouTube page.
Why? We're all 21.
I'm not.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needed another reminder. We're within 3 months now. We are within 3 months.
Yeah, you still act like a child.
Yes, sometimes. Especially when you push me, Ryan.
You want me to push you again?
No.
Tony Gwynn.
Why are you're just gonna pull up random stuff
I'm sorry.
that is
It's
completely
too fun.
wrong
And it's a
to
silly
try
one.
and emit
Parker,
emotion
should I
out
say
there,
it?
Ryan.
I mean,
Tony
you already
Gwynn
did
Is
practically.
No,
the
he's-
most
He's not. He's not.
overrated baseball player of all time.
So I just muted Ryan Blank because he's
Oh, that's okay.
utter.
Because YouTube heard it, and now they see the fluster.
Well, Ryan, listen,
Going across
I'm not
the
going to
line.
allow you to on our basketball and football show talk about Tony Gwynn, a Padre, and someone who got 98% of Hall of Fame votes, and say he's overrated. I'm not going to allow you to
The
do
golden
that.
sombreros meant for
So
that.
yeah, if
The
you want to
Golden
do that,
Sombreros
you can do that on Wednesdays. You're of course not going to be here on Wednesday.
But
Golden Sombrero Show, myself,
plug.
Ryan Blank, Cole Bradley, 7 to 8 p.m. Ryan, you're now unmuted again. I put you in timeout for a little bit.
Well,
You said I
okay.
act childish, but I mean, I
So-
put you in timeout.
so
Listeners
the
are down in
history of
Taylor
this,
Mall.
it
Or
is
is that
100% a joke, but Tom doesn't know how to take it well, so he
It's
gets
a
very
bad.
flustered.
It's an objectively bad joke.
And it works every time because it upsets his poor little heart that has been just shattered by his sports teams his entire life.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know.
The Rams were a nice blip in the radar.
But according to Jack Lover, you're not a true Rams fan.
Well, I'm not. So I've never called myself one.
Yeah. He stayed true to his roots.
I am.
True to his roots.
I like to think of myself as self-observant, and
Self-observant.
knowing that I have not been a Rams fan my entire life. Never have admitted to being a Rams fan my entire life. Anytime someone asks me why I'm a Rams fan, I explain to them why. It's because the team that I supported left.
Dom, how does it make you feel that the teams that you support leave?
Well, I mean, it's only
Reminds me
been
of last
one.
week.
It's only been one team, so let's say, how does it feel?
How about
have
this? How about this? How about this? The teams that were in your city leaving, because now you can bring the Clippers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clippers
well, I
in
mean,
there.
the Clippers have seen no success since they left San Diego. The Chargers have also seen no success.
They didn't have much success when they were in LA.
I didn't say they had success. I never said that, Ryan. And the Chargers, they went to a Super Bowl. I really can't speak on the history of the Clippers. I can't imagine it's
They've never made it past the second round.
Yeah.
right. poverty franchise. And,
Nothing
you know,
there.
You know
you
something about
leave
that?
America's finest city, and that's what happens.
Or
Did you
Western
s-
Conference Finals, I should say.
Did I
Yes.
refer to San Diego as America's finest city?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. That's
of course you
what
did.
it's called.
What a. Oh, I can't find the
You,
word.
you, when Ryan, when you
My
go to San
vocabulary
Diego,
is
you will
limited right now.
understand.
Well, I've never been to San Diego.
I said when you go.
Who knows if I'll ever go there?
You're gonna go, Ryan. Come on.
What? What are you gonna do? Kidnap me?
No, I'm not gonna kidnap you. It's not kidnapping if I bring you to San Diego.
Okay, that's fair.
I
I do want to go to San Diego. That is. I will be objective with that. I would love to go to San Diego. But let's get back to the show tonight. Jalen Brunson went crazy.
Bert.
Yeah, I
Jalen
mean,
41 points for a team that's without their star player Luka Doncic, and they tied the series with Utah 1-1. What do you guys think of this Jazz team? First off, and if Luka cannot go at all during this series, do the Mavs still legitimately have a shot at, especially after what happened tonight?
like in the series.
Yes.
Like, yeah. No, I mean, look, they won a game. They showed they're capable of doing it. I think that this, first of all, like to hit the first point, the Jazz, they're really pathetic. There's no way around it. They're such regular season merchants. I've heard the term merchant. And, our buddy Theo likes to say that word a lot. It's kind of grown on me. I think it's a funny one. But no, they are. Like they win a ton of regular season games. And they're kind of like the Clippers of the last couple, like with the Clippers with the Lob City era. They're kind of like that.
Oh, that's a really good comparison.
There always seems to be a team in the NBA, and you can, probably find one for every sport. But for the NBA especially, where a team has more than enough talent to be considered a contender, and they win enough regular season games and get a high seed, to think they should be. But everybody just knows at this point Jazz are, and it's kind of like it's like a funny inside joke that everybody's inside on. And Donovan Mitchell's great. Rudy Gobert's a solid player. They got some other guys in that mix. Mike Conley, who they traded for 2 years ago, and they have the talent. It's not a matter of lacking talent. I mean, I guess they could bring somebody in, but the team just seems to be a little bit fractured. Donovan Mitchell's, he's kind of butted heads with Rudy Gobert a little bit. They've kind of tried to suppress those rumors or narratives, but it definitely seems like they're not all that happy over there in Utah, and for good reason. They just can't get it done.
Dom, do you agree with the thoughts from Mr. Dunn?
Yeah, I mean the Jazz have gotten to the playoffs and have not done anything there. They, I think most notably they blew the 3-1 lead to the Bubble Nuggets, and that was obviously a really tough scene.
That was bad.
And I mean, there's been a lot of talks about Gobert. Obviously, his defense is what is his strong point. 7'2" center who's got really long arms. That was, of course, going to be
That
the
should be your strong point. That and rebounding.
right. But his offensive prowess is not that good. And when you are
Lack of.
yes, when you're in the playoffs, teams are going to have to do everything to take away your star players on offense, and that is, of course, Donovan Mitchell. The ball has found itself in the hands of Gobert far too often, and it just has not gone well for them. And I think there's partially a reason for it. So, it's really tough because, you do see what he does on defense, and even some people say that what he does on defense isn't as impressive as he gets credit for. So it's really tough, especially considering the funds that they've allocated towards Rudy Gobert.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
He's getting paid a lot of money.
He's getting way overpaid.
And the rumors about Donovan Mitchell, they're going to keep spurring. And I mean, it seems like he could potentially be a Knick, and the Knicks need to make moves to put themselves back on the right track because they were horrendous this year. Everyone loves to dink and dunk on the Lakers and Lakers in 4. I get it, but at the same time, the Knicks, who are just as historic, or not really, but are a very, very historic franchise in terms of basketball, and one of the most successful in terms of making money and generating profit.
Yes.
Also missed the playoffs and missed it in miserable fashion. And like Parker said, it's not hard to make the playoffs at this point.
So easy in the NBA.
So, people need to talk more about the Knicks missing the playoffs as opposed to the Lakers. Back off the Lakers for a little bit.
Well, considering what the Lakers have.
Put Westbrook on the Knicks and then see what happens.
Oh, actually, that would actually be entertaining for me.
It'd be entertaining for everyone.
It'd be terrible. I wouldn't even want to watch that.
Nobody would, but get him off the Lakers. I mean,
Sure.
I'm just saying that for my dad's sake. My poor dad had a terrible year rooting for the Lakers. But so, Dom, you mentioned Donovan Mitchell and how the rumors will continue to pop up. You mentioned the Knicks as a potential team. Do we think that he asked for a trade at some point?
Mitchell?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, look, players nowadays in every sport, especially basketball, basketball's been at the forefront for players being able to kind of dictate where they go. James Harden's like the poster child for that. I think Donovan Mitchell, he's become really underrated. I mean, he had a great rookie season. Obviously, him and Ben Simmons have a very storied Rookie of the Year race. Didn't go to him. And since then, he's continued to put up great numbers. But he's playing for Utah. It's a small market. They're a team that doesn't shine in the big moments in the playoffs where, fans would be able to watch him play at a high level. He's always the guy that does play at a high level in the playoffs, but can't really make up for the rest of his teammates. And I think that he is a guy that will request a trade because with all the rumors of him not having the best relationship with teammates, especially Rudy Gobert, I think that it's all just adding up, getting to a boiling point where it's all gonna collapse, and he is gonna eventually request that trade. And you can't blame him for doing that. He's a really good player. He's kind of, he hasn't been one of those diva personalities. He's always just gone into work, done his job, performed at a high level, and just hasn't really had the right guys around him because the formula in Utah, it's not a bad one. It wins a lot of games. It sells tickets, it sells jerseys, all that good stuff, but it doesn't win in the playoffs. So I think that I wouldn't fault him one bit. I think he will end up doing that.
Hey, Parker, you'll love to hear it, but Minaya threw 6 on 78 pitches, 1 earned. It's a dog.
He really is. And you know what? It's a tough year for A's fans, but at least, we can watch, feels like our children going off and having success with these little ball clubs. So good for Minaya. He's killing it so far this year. Hopefully he can sustain it.
Hey, you guys know what farm system he came from.
Yeah, we're familiar.
Yes.
You love to mention
That has to be one of those fair trades for the two teams.
Yeah. I mean, when I panned out, he was good.
Definitely worth it. Zobrist, key reason why the Royals got to the World Series and won it. So
the Minaya connection right here on the fourth show.
Just a little trifecta.
We're 20 minutes into the show. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I just don't want to end early tonight.
I don't want to end early. It just has felt like it's been so long.
Yes, I've been attacking you the entire show.
I mean, I think that has something to do with it. I also think that Mondays just suck for all three of us.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very true.
To what it really is.
Yeah.
Today
You
was
got a
our
point.
last true Monday. I probably am gonna have to go into the bureau again on next Monday, which is fine.
Wait, why?
Because your boy hasn't started his enterprise story.
Oh,
How have you not started your enterprise
my
story?
God.
I tend to do other tasks.
Tom, you
Lord
realize
have
if
mercy.
Parker and I hadn't started our enterprise story, we wouldn't be here right now. Gilly Chris would have gotten rid of us.
Yeah.
Well,
And
fortunately,
not in a legal sense.
I don't work with them, so I'm not alone. By the way, let's make this.
Oh, I don't.
I don't
have
know-
all
I
my
don't-
sources. I just need to start writing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's the easiest
Man, are
part.
you having
too.
writer's block or are you just lazy?
I've chosen to do other things in the bureau.
Lazy.
I wouldn't say lazy.
Lazy. I know you did turn in a story today, and I do give you credit for that.
That I hadn't started.
My Lord, Dominic. You actually had an excuse for that because I had to get to it. But you had an excuse.
Kinda.
You had an excuse. But geez, dude.
I've done a lot of internship stuff during that class. Homework.
Yes, as have I. Homework time is very beneficial in the bureau when I don't want to do any actual bureau-related work.
See, I try to do homework during the bureau. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I gotta get astronomy done somehow. It's not gonna do itself.
So if it makes you feel better, the entire time after I finished my story today, I legit did mock drafts for the last hour and a half.
Nice.
Because the draft is coming up.
Are you
Can't
gonna
wait.
work on another story?
I'm doing a digital story.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I have to start writing. I have everything. I just have to start writing it.
Yeah.
See.
But I actually had bureau stuff that takes precedent to that.
Right, of course.
What have you had?
I like homework and other stuff.
This man is not very good with his time management, Parker Bell.
That's not true. I get ahead of things.
Maybe you should stay on top of things like your Interpress.
You know, I should have, but it's okay.
I gotta jump in. I gotta say, for the TNT halftime crew, one of the most entertaining aspects of all television.
Yes, I agree.
Usually Ernie runs to the big board and the big screen and kind of breaks down the plays that occurred in the first half. But this time it's Shaq, and I've watched a lot of TNT halftime shows. I can't remember the last time he has ever done this, so it's a nice change of scenery. Good for Shaq.
Would you like to see more Shaq over there on the big board?
Oh, I mean, I think Ernie. Ernie and Kenny, or not Ernie. I kept saying Ernie the whole time. Kenny usually does that.
Wait, were you saying Ernie the entire time?
Yeah, it was. I didn't realize it until I had the whole crew.
Hey,
But,
if it makes you feel better, I didn't either.
yeah, no, Kenny kills it over there. So Shaq can do it whenever he wants, but I think Kenny's the guy.
All right. So we've gone through a couple series. The next series, Sixers Raptors. Tyrese Maxey went crazy.
He did. What
Career
a
high
first
38
playoff
points.
game. Mm-hmm.
No, I thought he had already played the playoff game last year.
Nope,
Mm-mm. Nope.
he did not.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
No.
crazy.
No, he
Tell
was.
me you didn't watch the game without telling me you didn't watch the game.
He was special, though.
Well, I was watching other games.
He was fantastic. 38
doing work.
points. He got pulled after he had a step back three that could have given him a 41 piece for the night. Couldn't hit it. It was funny because he was mic'd up and he said, "Man, I suck," which was the irony of that.
They left him in for quite some
Yeah,
time.
he wanted it, and
Oh yeah,
good for them for letting him go get it.
yes.
But he was awesome though. He's a really good player. I feel like I have a special little connection to him because of 2K My League. It's silly, but it's kind of funny.
No, Parker, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I have connections with a lot of guys.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like Tyrese, like that's my guy. So it's funny to see him having a lot of success at the NBA level. He's super efficient. He's great from three. I believe he shot like at least 41% from three, north of 40 for sure. I know that. He shot, I believe, around 47, 48 from the field. So he has a lot of quickness, gets to the hoop, hits open shots when he gets them. So it's really big that they didn't have to give him up in that Harden trade because that would have been a huge bummer to lose him.
I don't think they would have done the trade if they had to give up.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
I wouldn't have done it if they had to give up Tyrese Maxey.
But no, it's just good for them though for able to keep him because he's special.
All right.
He almost set the Sixers franchise record for most points in a playoff debut.
What is the record?
It was 40 from Wilt.
I believe it. I kind of
Or
figured.
wait, no, that
Well,
was by a rookie. It was
Okay,
by
yeah.
a rookie. He
Yeah.
set it for the debut, but he almost set it for a rookie.
Yeah.
And Doris was like, "Yeah, if you're in the same category as
Mhm.
Wilt Chamberlain, especially Philadelphia 76er Wilt Chamberlain, you're in really good company."
You're doing something right.
Oh yeah.
But other series I want to get to, Bucks Bulls. That game got entertaining yesterday.
Did lack of DeMar DeRozan. I mean, it's just like if there was ever going to be a year where he get that monkey off his back of not being able to perform in the playoffs the same way he does in the regular season, this felt like it was going to be the year. I didn't think that this was a team that stood any chance against the Bucks. It might sound a little harsh because the Bulls had some good moments this year, but their record against competitive top-seeded teams was pathetic. I mean, I don't know what the exact record was, but it was really bad. So it's crazy to think that they're a 6 seed playing a 3 seed, and it just feels like there was never a chance in the series. And they could have came away with game one. I wasn't able to watch much of it because I was doing some Easter activities with my family, and then had to get a flight to get on over here to Arizona. But
Works out.
Back where you belong, buddy.
it's
What? He belongs here with us.
But So it just feels like a series that, although they could have easily stolen game one from the Bucks, and I heard there was some questionable officiating. I know Giannis had 5
Oh,
fouls.
there was some bad
And there was
officiating.
like an over the back that they called on Patrick Williams when Giannis was the one jumping over
Yeah.
his back to get a rebound. So some questionable calls, but either way, though, I mean, they couldn't hit their shots. DeRozan wasn't able to hit his, and he's gonna have to figure it out because I feel like at this point in his career, it's a mental thing more than a physical. It's just he realizes he hasn't been able to get it done with the Raptors, wasn't able to get it done with the Spurs. I mean, with the Spurs, they would never really be in the playoffs, but in the play-in, I guess you could say, last year. So they're a team that I don't know. Lonzo Ball not being healthy and being able to play for them is also a big loss that I think a lot of people maybe don't acknowledge, but that was a big loss for them.
Well, and another thing is that his style of basketball is not efficient. It's very well documented. He is a mid-range shooter. He doesn't shoot the three that well. He's not. He's not athletic enough to like drive past defenders with efficiency. So, inefficient scorer, but he does it, and he was insanely good this year. And credit to him, he had a career year. It was fun to watch. But when it comes playoff time, those defenders are extra locked in, and it's going to make those mid-range shots even harder. And I think that has something to do with it too.
Yeah, and yesterday he shot 6 of 25.
Woo!
That is
He struggled from every
Yeah.
part of the court. He
Yeah.
really struggled. But
No, there's no ball.
I think what you have to realize
got me there.
for this Bulls team is that they've got some good depth. They've still got Zach
Bamboozled.
LaVine. This is going to be a series. And yesterday I don't know if I would call it the honor. I'll say the opportunity to watch the Bulls game with two Bulls fans.
Yeah, to just diehard Chicago fans, right?
Don't hit on Nakash.
No, Nakash
on.
is legit. He's legit.
Nakash is a legit Chicago
As for
sports
Bobby,
fan.
though.
Detroit fan.
He is a true Bulls fan. Don't do this. Why do you have to tear down Nakash like this?
I
He would
love.
never tear you down like this, but you would tear someone else down.
Well,
What kind of person does? What does that say about you, Tom? Huh? The audacity.
I love those two guys with all of my heart.
Clearly not
Yeah, what?
attacking poor Nakash.
I understand the Bobby one.
Bobby, I understand.
Yeah.
Bobby, I get. But Nakash, no.
They just liked D Rose. They've stuck by him.
Yeah.
Credit to them.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, no. That is one way to look at it, though. There is some validity to that, but we'll skip aside to
If Nakash, you're listening, I love you, dude. Love you. You are a homie.
You know what? I hope he texts me just with a certain expletive that I can tell you after the show. I really hope so.
Coward.
Why are you talking about yourself?
I was just making sure
we'll
we're
just
on
come
the
back
same
in the
page.
book.
All right, guys. Which series do you think is going to be a sweep? Or do you guys think there's most?
Oh, I
The Bulls
mean,
are getting swept.
I
the
disagree with that
Sixers
one.
are going to sweep the Raptors.
I
And
agree with
that
that.
was before Scotty Barnes got hurt, and that sucks. Rest up, Scotty. That's a terrible way to have your rookie playoff debut and
In just your rookie season, that was phenomenal.
Yeah,
He's going to
no.
be rookie of the year runner-up. Has that been announced yet?
no, not yet.
No.
No, they're really random. I don't know if there's dates for these. I feel like they're just like, all right, let's release this.
We'll talk about a couple of those in a minute.
But yeah, no, just so it's a bummer. We gotta acknowledge the injury, but regardless of that, this team was gonna get swept, or at the very least lose in 5. And him getting hurt only confirmed it was gonna be a sweep at this point. They're just so outmatched. The talent disparity is so huge. I mean, Joel Embiid, potentially the MVP of the league, right there, just dominating down low. And this is a Raptors team that doesn't have a big man like that. Their tallest guy's Chris Boucher, and he's really skinny. He can't bang down low with a guy like Embiid, who physically is just so much stronger than him. So
Put up 17 points.
Chris Boucher, he's not a bad player. He's actually
I think he's actually kind of
he started
underrated.
out with the worst G League team. Fun fact.
It
And
would
then,
it would have been interesting to see how well Oregon did that season if he didn't get hurt, and they still went to the Final Four.
yeah, I know that. I
What
know.
team they beat in the Elite Eight, Parker? Do you remember?
Hey, what team choked to Creighton this year?
Okay, we're not going to answer those two questions.
Right, well, okay.
That's what I thought,
Well,
buddy.
But yeah, no. So like this was a series where that matchup of not being able to have a guy that can defend Joel was just such a problematic scenario. And not to mention, the scorers like Harden and Maxey and Harris next to him. So that series to me had 5 games initially written on it, and now it's a sweep.
Dom.
Yeah, I mean, I already said Bucks, and I also think that the Sixers are going to sweep here. I want to give a quick shout out, former Aztec great Malachi Flynn. He
Yeah.
had a +8 today with 0 points in 21 minutes. Defense.
That's actually so crazy.
Yeah, 4 personal fouls too.
That's funny.
He's just a baller. No other way to put it. That's absurd. But it's also cool that a former Aztec's getting 21 minutes in a playoff game because he made a series, and unlike another Aztec great, Kawhi Leonard playing for the Flippers, they couldn't get it done.
Jokic just fouled Poole so hard on the three and continues to look at the ref like, what did I do?
Who?
What did I do? Jokic.
You guys can call me crazy.
Complains so
I think the
much.
Nuggets are going to get swept. I think the task is too tall for Jokic to do it all by himself.
I don't think that's too crazy.
I'm not going to say anything on it. I don't want to jinx anything. But
Yeah, Parker Dunn has an
Yeah.
impact on the series.
Yes,
everyone.
yes.
Parker Dunn sitting in the Bill Austin radio studio has an impact on the Warriors Nuggets games that'll be played at Chase Center, and then it used to be the Pepsi Center in Denver. We're not going to try.
Oh man.
But no, I think the task is too much. And when they're without MPJ and Jamal Murray, I think it's really just going to stack up against them.
It's more so the Murray thing too. And it's not to discredit MPJ, but in the couple games, and it wasn't a big sample size, I know that, but in the sample size that he did have before he got hurt for the remainder of the year, his numbers were unbelievably bad. They were crazy bad, and they would have gone up. It was only inevitable. He's too good not to, but I think more than anything, it's really the injury that's worth mentioning is Murray. I feel like MPJ's kind of thrown in there with Murray as if it's the same impact player.
Not the same at all.
But it's just not. But still, it's really unfortunate. That sucks. Injuries derailing a team are the worst.
I will add one more. I think the Pels get swept by the Suns.
Yeah, they almost came. It's funny because they're a 36-win team, so on paper they should get swept. They kind of fought back last night, and the reason why I definitely think it's a possibility. I feel like it's a coin flip because I think that the Pelicans are a team where their starters were bad last game, and part of that's just because the Suns are really good. They're the number one net defense, and obviously you have to take that into account. But they just weren't hitting their shots. Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum were madly inefficient, especially Brandon Ingram, and I just don't see that repeating. I expect those numbers to go up a little bit, and I know that if you're gonna look at that, you got to look at the other side of the ball. Devin Booker didn't have the best of shooting nights either, but I think the Pelicans at home, game 3 or 4, could maybe steal one. I think that there's definitely some talent. But one thing with that series I think is more funny, or we're talking about, I was kind of talking about in the Bureau today, is that Zion isn't playing. How can you tell me he can throw down between the leg 360-degree dunks and his body's not in shape to play 15 minutes in a game? You can't get him to play 15 minutes.
Can we just say that he's a bust yet? Can we say it?
No, you can't say that now, but
look at his numbers from last year.
He's
will he ever step on the court again?
Yes.
Will he ever get his weight under
100%.
control?
Yeah. It's
When
just
he's playing,
one
it's been
off-season,
great.
Ryan.
But there's some things that are very questionable.
If
Go ahead.
if the injuries continue to pile up, then he will go down to bust, because at the end of the day, availability is the best ability, and I don't care how good you are, if you're not able to play games, it's bad luck most of the time, but it's still got to be taken into account. So the talent is there, but he's a special talent, and that's why it's kind of frustrating, because I can see the vision with how this Pelicans team's built. They can be really good. Zion, I mean, I don't know what his career average numbers are. I feel like it's 23 points a game, maybe. That's kind of just a guessing it from whatever I've
Zion?
seen. Yeah, 23 a game. It's
No,
pretty good.
25 and a half.
25? Okay.
And
So-
Ryan just called him a bust.
I did not say it, but
I
there is
want
an
that-
argument where
I know.
you
No,
will
there's
say
not,
he
there's
will
not
be.
an argument.
He
Put
will.
up-
There's argument to say he will be if he does not get healthy and stays on the court.
Well, that's
I did not call him a
that
bust.
is not what you said.
Do not try to put words in my mouth.
I know-
You said
I know what you
is
meant.
it can
I
we
know what
have
you
the
meant.
argument? Is Zion a bust? That's what you said. I'm going to call you out for
Does
that.
not mean that I said that he is a bust.
Well,
You're trying to put words in my mouth, and I'm not going to let you.
Okay, let me be the moderator. So
Parker, whose
so-
side are you on?
Okay.
here?
God.
Well, based on the wording, he did say that, but I know that Ryan didn't mean for it to come across that way. So what it
Thank
means
you.
is if he stays injured and if he keeps getting injured, and it's lower body injuries, which those may never go away with how his playing style. So I can understand what he was trying to say, but obviously if he returns, it'll be just special as he always is. But I see these videos and they drive me crazy because I know that the Pelicans organization wants to be really careful with him. He's their future, he's everything to them, and they want to keep him happy. But he's not on good terms with them. All of a sudden, you have him saying he can play, and he's upset that the team's holding him back and that the medical staff won't let him go and play in the series. And I just think that they're trying to protect him but it's almost going to hurt the team in a way because if you keep frustrating him, that's not going to be good. When it comes to him maybe demanding a trade down the road, that's still very far from today, but it's always a possibility. So I just keep seeing these videos of him throwing down dunks, and it just drives me crazy. Because I just don't know how you don't play a guy that seems clearly capable of playing. And I know that throwing dunk doesn't translate to playing 25 minutes a game, but he can at least come off the bench or something. I mean, come on now.
I agree. I think it's ridiculous that you're seeing all these reports and he's still not out there.
Yeah.
At least start ramping him up to play. He hasn't even started 5-on-5 contact
I mean,
practices
think
yet.
how crazy the Sun series could become if he played. And he's not going to.
No, he's not.
going
He hasn't
to.
even started contact practices yet.
But oh my God, it would be something else because it really could make it a great series. It won't be the case. Which
So
maybe in another universe, in a parallel universe, in the multiverse we live in, maybe there's a planet where that's happening. So good for those fans.
all right, now I want to flip the script a little bit. Do you guys see any series going to 7 games?
The Celtics series.
I agree.
The
100%.
Celtics. I'll let you talk a little more. I feel like I'm hogging the airwaves, but
the more you talk, the less I have to.
Well, okay, this one I feel like, Parker, you're going to disagree with me on. I think Timberwolves Grizzlies could definitely go 7
oh
games.
no, that's another really good one.
I think that one's going to
I
go 7.
love that series. I love what Memphis,
It's
or
grit
not
versus
Memphis,
grit.
what the Timberwolves did that first game because they were a team where I still picked the Grizzlies at the end of the day. Like, gun to my head, I'm picking the Grizzlies. They're a really good team. But this Timberwolves team, man, they're interesting because they're really young. They don't have too much playoff experience, but, man, are they talented. And Anthony Edwards' development has been off the charts right away. And I just love what they mix with him, with Cat, D'Lo, a ton of guys that can shoot. That was a really fun game to watch. They dropped 130 points on the Grizzlies. Grizzlies, like you said, grit and grind. Defense is a big part of, their mentality and what kind of basketball brand that they play. So the fact that the defense and the offense of these two teams is clashing, it's like two massive forces connecting at once. So it is going to be a really good series. I think Memphis will probably tie it up. I would sure hope they do for their fans' sake, because if they don't, they're in big trouble. But I think they'll probably tie it up, and then we'll see where the series goes from there. But that's definitely a series I could see going 7. Two really good teams.
Dom, do you have any comments?
So I think that series is not going to go 7 games
Why?
because I think the Timberwolves are going to beat them before it gets to 7 games.
Ooh,
How about
That's a
that?
possibility, yeah. No,
that's a possibility.
I'm not rolling it out.
Yeah.
Teams that win that first game, the percentage shoots on up for obvious
Yeah.
reasons, but it still
Yeah.
got to
So-
take into account.
No, I definitely think it's possible that the Timberwolves take it in less than 7 for sure. All right, before we get out of here, let's talk about a couple awards. First off, Defensive Player of the Year announced today.
Mhm.
This one actually has an impact on the Valley with Mikal Bridges not winning it and Marcus Smart of the Celtics winning it. Like I said earlier, this is Pat's show for him
Yeah.
to be here. Completely start streaming. Everything's not here. But what do you guys think of Smart getting it?
I think that he's one of the grittiest players in the league. He's kind of like I always like compare Draymond to like defensive minded guys that are really gritty and can just do their dirty work. And he's always kind of embodied that since he entered the league. He's been that kind of role for the Celtics. So I do think he's a great player to get that recognition. He's the first player since Gary Payton in '96. So that's pretty cool. Usually it's just the best big man. Like Rudy Gobert's won it 3 times. I'm not trying to hate on Rudy Gobert, but it's kind of boring when it's the same guy when they can't even guard
I agree.
more than like two positions. So good for him. So that I got to get that out there. But second of all, I do think Mikal Bridges could have won it. I think that he's just been so versatile to have the length that he has. I mean, he's got at Villanova, just such an incredible defender. He can guard your best point guard and guard your power forward if he wants to because he has the wingspan to do it. So I think Draymond just hit a 3. Wow. I think that he really is a special talent. And they were the number 1 net defense at the end of the year. So I think that you kind of have to give the nod because he's the anchor of that group. And I think that goes a really long ways. And I think that they didn't necessarily make a bad decision, but I'm still a little bit impressed. I think Bridges should have got it. But
I agree. I think the number 1 defender on the number 1 team in defensive efficiency should have gotten it, especially with how versatile he is, like you said, with his length. But Not the way it went. Dom, do you agree, or do you still just not really care?
Well, I mean, I don't care is the right answer here. So,
Okay,
listen,
so then why are you talking?
well, because I'm going to explain why I don't care. So it's hard to tell. And I think that Mikal Bridges' tweet was important. This award very rarely goes to someone who is on the outside, on the perimeter as a ball guard. I thought that
Yeah,
was
he's only the second guard to win it.
Mhm.
right. I thought that was important for him to clarify. Guys like Mikal Bridges don't always win. I mean, Draymond's a guy who
Oh yeah, I mean he should
He
have
does
so
that.
many more.
he does that, but he
Uh,
also plays down low, and that's kind of why he's so versatile. And I mean, Marcus Smart was the betting favorite at minus 500 to win this award. So all the fans are like, "Oh
for
my
bad
god,
markets.
I can't believe this! What if this is a sham?" Like, okay, use an educated take here. And listen, I don't know the numbers here because I don't care. Like I said, but Marcus Smart is a
Tell us how
fantastic
you really feel.
and Mikal Bridges. And Bridges was the anchor for the best defense in the league this year. Parker, I know that when Draymond was out, the Suns, the Warriors
Warriors.
defense,
But that's not the case anymore.
right? That's part of why Draymond Green is not going to win the Defensive Player of the
Yeah,
Year
no,
because he
missed
didn't
some
play.
games. Yeah.
So it is part of it, and I think it's important for people to realize that Marcus Smart was so good defensively. That's been his trademark, and he's also been a good offensive player, and that's why he's started to gain starting minutes for the Celtics. That's part of the reason why they were the 2 seed this year. Their defense was phenomenal down the stretch. Marcus Smart deserved this award. Mikal Bridges was a very worthy. I don't know the word, but he deserved it too.
Player candidate.
Yes,
Okay, have a little small there, Dom.
a long day, Ryan.
Has it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It's been a long day, as we have all said. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we get out of here?
Next week we're gonna talk about the draft.
The NFL draft. And that one I'm excited for.
Yeah, Chiefs have 2 picks.
We do not have one.
Yeah.
I'm still very
The Chiefs
excited.
have 12 total picks, 2 picks in the first round.
Well, 2 important picks.
Oh, 8 picks instead of the first 135. That is very important.
Okay,
Here, Dom.
whatever. You're right. I mean, let's be correct here, Don. You have 2 picks on the important day that everyone watches.
Oh, people watch round 2 and 3.
I watch all.
I watch all of them too, but
Ryan, I want
I'm just saying.
I want you to do your homework, and I want you to look at NFL draft ratings.
I'm not doing
Day
any
1,
homework for you.
Day 2, and day 3, and I want you to come back with these numbers.
No.
And when you tell me people watch, I want you to compare how little people watch day 2 and day 3.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Oh, I know the viewership dips,
Very
but there are
small,
people that still
but
watch
It
it.
dips, it plateaus.
I will watch it. That's all.
Talk
I
about
care
vocabulary.
Exactly. That's all we care about is that we're gonna watch it.
Oh yeah,
Is
100%.
the casuals will watch the first round, maybe a little bit of the second, but hey, you never know when there's going to be the next Tom Brady to come pick 199. So you gotta watch
Exactly,
I'm
Dom.
never gonna be another Tom Brady if we're gonna be completely honest.
it. Could be. You never know.
You're right. You're
Never close the door. If
Or-
there's something I learned in my AP US history class, history repeats itself, baby.
okay.
Yeah. No.
All right. That'll do it for today's show. Everyone have a great rest of your week. We'll be back same time, same place next Monday. Oh, shoot.